Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Rant. And wow, already so many amazing folks chiming in the chat. Got to say hi to everyone first. Stella, House of Dead, Dolls, Alan with his houseplant pets. We've also got Matt Jones, Matokisha Sleek Dissident, Martin, Gordy, Catherine, False Reality Check fam, both Buffalo and Legs. Wow. So there's probably more of you in there that haven't said hi in the live chat, but there's as many people or more over on Rockfin as there are on YouTube. I love and appreciate you all. And I know that our special guest tonight, Catherine, is excited to join. Really going to be a special and different topic on the table. Catherine is a wonderfully gifted psychic and communicator on all levels with spirit, but in particular has a prolific talent for talking to the pets that we all know and love, both on this side and the other side of the veil. So, Catherine, welcome to Rant. It's going to be so fun.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm like, I can feel it. It's so amazing. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I like to kick off with asking if you know any good jokes, but there's no pressure if you don't. We just like to laugh here and we're going to either way. But you got anything, maybe your dad's told you a funny joke recently?
Okay, this is one of my favorite jokes. It's probably like a popsicle joke or something. What did the ocean say to the beach?
You got me.
Nothing, it waved. It waved.
There we go. That's what we're looking for. That's exactly.
And I totally would have worn my camouflage shirt today, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, why would camouflage be significant, if I may?
No, that's another joke.
Wow, right over the head. I was just like, maybe there's like a specific reason.
That's the only two jokes that I have.
Two more than some people have ready. I just was hanging out with my dad and I asked him like, okay, what's the newest joke you've got? And he just told the same joke that I told last time. That was my dad joke that I farmed. So he didn't have anything new for us. Feel free, people. I linked it in the group chats, but we've got, of course, just like always, the ability to do call-ins to the call-in line. You can drop pictures and memes. I'll just show right now. This is kind of funny. Snake Jones, he just got a nice haircut and looking really nice. And apparently he was at Walmart and he found a vibrant pet bed.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's fitting, right? I hope he's here with us in the chat, but if not, I'm sure he'll catch up later. He's got a lot to do with his goats. I think there was actually some talk in the group chat on Telegram about if we could communicate with some goats tonight. So maybe that'll happen.
I love goats.
Yeah. What are they like personality wise, or are they all different?
Well, they're all going to be different. Yeah. It depends. It depends on how many times they've been a goat. They might actually carry. Have you ever met like a cat that acts like a dog?
Absolutely. I have a dog that acts like a cat.
Yeah. Maybe he hasn't been a dog that many times, but he's been a cat lots.
You actually met him at One Day of Brightness, your little buddy Gimli. And I got the gist from you that the reason why our relationship is the way it is because he sees me more like a brother than a dad. And I'm like, that's cool. I feel that. So he's in the other room. Maybe we'll get him on screen, but we've already got some good contributions from people in our calling group. So I'm going to put this on screen. What did one psychic say to the other psychic? You are fine. How am I?
And then look at the last picture. They're so looking fine. Just like, yes, see how fine we are?
So good. This is already fun. I love you.
Yeah. Guys. I'm so excited. I've been really looking forward to this. So thank you so much for letting me come on. It's so amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about, let's put a little bit of space in here. I mean, as much as it requires, but let's talk about what you do for people, because I haven't had you on the main show before, but we have so much cross pollination between my community and Lindsay's that I know that most of the family here is already aware of you. And I've experienced the magic of Katherine O'Shea on 2 One Day of Brightnesses so far. And it's just like the levity is there without any effort. Like just when you're in the space, we all just feel so good. And why don't you tell everyone kind of what you do in client work and like who you are and whatever
Sure.
feels right to share right now.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Obviously, I I'm just feeling like I need to share. I am like a kind of a very happy rainbow sunshine, and especially right now, I'm just like elated for some reason. I cannot take the smile off of my face. So, yes, this is really how I am.
Me too.
So, yeah, so since I was a child, I know a lot of people on here can probably connect to having a special connection to animals or anything, right? A lot of plants or whatever it is. I saw someone is waiting with their house plant pets. um, so I always kind of had that when I was little, but it was really subtle and just part of who I was. So as a child, you just do your child thing. You just are who you are. Like you don't know that it's like weird or different or special or any kind of way. So I just lived in my world. I was mostly in my world all the time. The little kids like spinning around in the grocery store, and that was like talking to the apples, and like that's totally how I was.
My parents couldn't keep me at the dinner table. I would just like eat a bite off the plate and then go dance around the house while I was chewing on it because I'd take such a huge bite. And then I come back to the table and get the next one. I know how it is.
I love it. I love it. Um, and yeah, so when I was older, I kind of had some health conditions that put me on a search for other ways to heal. And as I did that, I started doing some health healing, self healing practices, and then I connected to Tao healing, which is like just source. It's not the religious Tao, but it's just another word for source
The
healing.
religious Tao ain't the Tao, technically. The Tao that can be named, right? It is
The
not it.
Tao that can be named and explained is not the true Tao. Yeah, so they just say Taoish. It's the Tao healing is what it was called. So I started using that, and I had like these amazing things happen. I had my thyroid taken out actually, and then went through a lot of mourning around that, and kind of had my own awakening around how I wanted to exist in the world and what healing practices I wanted to participate in. A lot of people can probably identify with that. And so as I started these practices and doing this healing, my need for medicine reduced, and I felt more emotionally balanced. My whole life just started to change really rapidly. And as a part of this healing, my spiritual channels opened up. And this particular connection to animals stepped forward like really strong. Like I could hear animals talking to me. And I was just receiving messages like really effortlessly. It was just happening. Actually, I didn't even really notice it because it was just part of naturally me just coming out. So how I had people pointing it out to me, and I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I had a little resistance around it, to be honest. I was like, it seems silly to say it now because I think it's such a huge, amazing thing in my life. But I was kind of like, I want to like cure cancer, or I get to talk to animals. Like that's that's my gift. Well, we can do it all. But yeah, it took me some humility to get into like, yes, this is what I'm going to share. And as the more I stepped into that and was like, okay, I'm willing to do this, the more, people just walk up to me and tell me what was wrong with their pets. And I'm like, hi, I haven't met you before. How did you know what to tell me? It was just naturally started happening. And then when I would actually step forward and do the communication and connection on the soul level and deliver that message, it was amazing to witness what people would experience. It was like deeply healing for people, would have people in tears, and they would be like, that just changed my life, and all these things. Like I had no idea what impact, if I just opened up my heart to share what it would have. So the more I started realizing this, obviously I got up the courage and was like, all right, this is all I need to do actually. It's just naturally deliver this to people. So that's what I've been doing. So I connect to, I use my channels, my spiritual channels, and I connect to animals. It's called soul communication is the name that I kind of connected to and started purifying and studying about. And I like that because that's like the soul is information, it's message, it's spirit. And we all have that. We all have that field. We all carry that information, that frequency, and that vibration. So, and we are connected to that. That's why, have you ever called someone and they're like, "Oh, I was just thinking of you," or whatever,
It's like the only way that I call people now, or they call me. I'm like, yeah, I almost called you, but there you are. It's nonstop
Exactly.
now. I can relate to a lot of what you said too with people just like, this is what's wrong with my animal. When I started getting into energy healing, just exploring that,
Yeah.
I noticed that I would talk to someone at the grocery store while we're standing there looking at cheese, and then they would just blurt out, "This is the worst thing that ever happened to me." And I've never met you before. And it's like we're just like, "Hi, how's it going?" And then they're like, "My son died last year." It's like really intense. And I think that there's something when you carry that energy of just being open to spirit, then the way that your particular healing modality works becomes literally who you are. And so all the other things about how you do it in the process and what you dress it up with is really just like kind of helping them on the placebo level to trust whoever it is, to trust that like, wow, this is really official. We're really doing this. But at the end of the day, you as a channel or a carrier of the vibrational wholeness of soul, that itself is the healing energy, and you can just watch the world around you restructure itself. So my cat decided he was going to scratch at the
I love
door,
your cat.
and the sweet lady let him in. Here we go. This is Gandalf. You met him at One Day of Brightness. He really wanted to join us right now.
Remember, I was like, "And the gray cat," and then you were like,
yeah, we were talking to Gimli, and you're like, "I'm also sensing a gray cat," and I was like, "Well, he's off camera right here, so there's a perfect example of you just kind of tuning in." I want to address some cool stuff in the chat.
Yeah.
First of all, Gabriel says, "Why did the chicken cross the road on Halloween? To get to the other side." And my dad's here, so that's cool. I told him to put it on his big screen, talk to us. Gandalf, my cat, he walked on the keyboard, and this is what he said: 541810, whatever that means. He walked on the keyboard. Also, we got Lindsay, of course, our mutual friend, who is totally a badass herself, but she has got a compliment for you here, of course, in her particular Lindsay way. It's definitely wonderful to have you here.
Love you, Lindsay.
So there's a lot of good stuff. I love everyone in the chat. Alan asked in Rockfin that we can't see on the YouTube side, but on the Rockfin, there's as many people watching there, and I can't put it on screen, but I can ask.
Shout out Rockfin.
Yeah, shout out Rockfin. You guys are kind of cooler because they give me royalties on Rockfin, and I'm not allowed to make money on YouTube because of too much thought crime. But Alan wants to know if you've ever helped with animals with mating needs, if they have trouble mating, and you were able to figure out on the psychic level.
I haven't ever been called to do that. No, but I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, I wonder what the context that Alan's thinking of is with that.
I don't know, but I just got this image spiritually of like whales and dolphins when he said that for some reason.
Interesting. I'm sure that in captivity, whales and dolphins probably don't mate too well because it's not a very happy environment. Yeah, but I've got a pet to share from our call-in line. I don't want to get too behind on the call-in line. I want people to feel excited about sharing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to pull this up. Gandalf is a very handsome cat. Oh, yeah, he is. Would you believe he's 10 years old? He's so youthful and playful. Look how cute you are, buddy. He's very handsome. Good boy. Okay, he wants to be in the lap. So this is Izzy, and Izzy is the doggo from Buffalo and Legs of the False Reality Check podcast. And now that we're looking at Izzy, I was wondering maybe if you have any feelings about what he might be saying, because there's some large things going on in their life right now, and I bet they would love to know what Izzy feels about it.
Yeah. Do you want to receive a message? Should we channel a message from Izzy?
I bet that they do, knowing them. I think that it's safe. I'm going to speak
Okay.
for them because
I
they're my
do need them
friends.
to say that it's okay, but I'm getting
Oh,
that it's okay.
fair. That's fair. Let me just make sure. They're a little behind us because of
Sure.
the lag, but we'll see what they say. But I just love the flow of how easily you tap in and tune into
Yeah.
the pets. It's so
Should we
cool.
say hello to all the pets who are joining us?
Please, yes, do so.
So let's just connect to our hearts and just say on that level, right? That soul and heart level, dear all of the pets and all the animals, connected to everyone who's watching and listening and tuning in. And if you can name your animal companion if you want to. We love you, we honor you, we appreciate you. We formally invite you to come and join us and be active in this connection and this time we have together to share your messages, your wisdom, your love, and to receive all the benefits of everything that happens in our time together deep within your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Could you feel that shift? I felt it.
They're like, "Oh, we're welcome." I thought that the screen time was just for you, to the parents.
I mean, I think they knew they were welcome. They're all excited. I can see them like crowding around, but it's nice to say hello, just like if you're in a room with someone.
They're just like us. They want to be seen. They
I
want to
like to
be
say
appreciated.
hello before I read their souls.
I was like kind of jumping straight to some extreme intimacy if you don't at least greet, right? Yeah. But I did get confirmation from Legs in Buffalo that they are happy to receive a message from Izzy. Here's
Oh,
the very
great.
cute
Gosh,
Izzy.
she is just so sweet. Is she 8 years old, I wonder? We'll let them answer when they have time. Okay, so everybody can receive this message. Izzy's going to share her love all around. So there's a couple of different ways that they share messages through me. They show me images. They give me a knowing, or I hear them audibly, spiritually. They also just use my voice to share their message. So I feel like that's what Izzy's going to do. I just wanted to prepare everyone for that. So if you'd like to just close your eyes and connect to this beautiful doggy, or just look at the picture. How, dearest beloved ones, I'm so grateful and honored and happy to be here with each of you to share my love and support for all of you and this beautiful community that creates so much nourishment and love on Mother Earth. Your animal friends are behind you 100%. We are here to support you and to guide you to my beloved guardians, friends, parents. I love you. I don't want you to feel like you are burdening me with anything. It is my pleasure to connect and support you in any way that I can. I would like some cold water to refresh me every once in a while, but room temperature is fine normally. I will let you know when I want colder water. So now she's just making me feel, there's some letting go happening. We're all going through this, but specifically to your situation, your family, and your dynamic. Like, I don't know if you're moving house or changing the area you live in, but she's having me feel like there's some changes happening in the home. And she just wants you to know that she's okay and she's down for it. And just keep communicating with her. She's like, they fill me in on everything that's happening. And that's good. That's actually really good and helpful for her. She appreciates the heads up. And now she's just showing me an image of some like baby chickens. And she's just showing me how gentle and loving she is with them. I don't know if she actually is around chickens or not, or if this is something you were thinking about. And then she's just showing me all these rainbow light, just big rainbows going everywhere. And she loves you both very much. And this feeling that you have that you've been connected before, yes. And there can be more details about that sometime if you're interested.
Yeah. So you nailed it. They're actually moving out of state right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the next thing that's happening for them. I'm sure that they're very impressed with that immediate. I mean, I won't say it was a guess because you're tuning in, and I just love to
Izzy
witness
was
that.
sharing. So thank you, Izzy. Good job.
So this is Tookie. He'll probably have to leave the room because it's a little too invasive, but he came in to say hi too.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Big fluffy boy.
So he's telling everybody you have to have courage. That was his message.
He's a pretty
Tookies.
fearless. He's a pretty fearless kitty.
That's
I've never even seen him get
teaches.
hurt before. Like nothing phases him. But now I'm gonna go see what they say on. Okay, they're just legs and Buffalo are very, very happy to receive your message over on Rockfin. They're chatting this.
Oh, good.
That it's incredible, and they do plan on getting chickens and moving.
And so it'll be okay. She'll be okay with the chickens.
Yeah, and so I guess since Katherine got those other things right, maybe the cold water is a good idea. Sometimes she does.
Every 3 days or so, you can just give her a little cool water.
That's awesome.
But room temperature is good, better for her digestion and stuff.
Lindsay, and another thing about chickens was the very next thing in the call-in line was Lindsay saying that she would love for Katherine to share about how her chickens come hang out with her while you're doing your practice and service. Lindsay's chickens are very friendly.
Oh, yes. So Lindsay's chickens. So there's lots of different services and ways to help our animals in this way of helping them to transform their health, their behavior, their all kinds of things. And part of what I have access to as a Tao practitioner is these beautiful downloads. They're called Tao Light Treasures, and they can be for any kind of condition or health or relationship, or they can be for anything really. And what it does is it raises the vibration of that condition or that by bringing in that source frequency and vibration in a permanent treasure. It's really amazing. I just wanted to share about that. So I do these practices, these complimentary weekly practices for all the animals who have received treasures to come and join. And we practice with the treasures and we turn them on so that the light can radiate and clear out, the negative information and lower vibrations. And I call in all animals to just come and be a part of it. And Lindsay's chickens came and they were like dancing. And I was like, I know these chickens. And then I realized that they were Lindsay's chickens. And they were like so excited. They're so spiritual, all the animals are also on their spiritual journey, right?
I did a sound healing session for Lindsay with my tuning forks, and Lindsay was outside for it, and her chickens were just like, I could hear them just circling and being a part of the session and guarding the space during the entire thing. So I definitely feel that they were involved with the energy work.
Yeah, and Lindsay wasn't even connect. We weren't on Zoom or anything. They just, on the soul level, they just showed up. They're like, oh, good, we can come too.
Here's an interesting question. Maybe this is something that you can tune into. Okay. This listener, House of Dead Dolls, said that a homeless cat they've been feeding wants to come into their house and is wondering if it could be a reincarnation of a cat that they had that is passed. What do you feel about that?
Could be. I could check, but I would need the name
Oh, okay. The homeless,
of
since
the
it's
cat.
homeless, maybe. Oh, the name of the passed away cat.
Yeah, maybe. Just so I can make sure I'm giving an accurate answer.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll give
Yeah.
them a second to hear that and maybe comment. Uh,
Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. Um,
and Legs and Buffalo said that they do tell Izzy everything.
yeah, that's what
So,
she said.
and they say, thank you, Catherine,
Aw.
that they really needed that. It seems like that's a nice reassurance because I bet that amongst all the other, you know, things that you got to do to move out of state, that being concerned about how your pet's going to handle it is definitely one of them. But as you said, and I think everyone here can trust this, that your pets are here to help you as much as you are to take care of them. And it's a two-way street, and they want to support us through the big transitions. They're cheering for us to make these big life changes, and they'd much rather go through the uprooting if that's what's best for the family than stay in, California whenever that's not working anymore.
Yep. Yeah. So
Affirmed.
it was interesting. I have a show every Wednesday called the Pet Healing Show. And today, Divine actually came through with a message about the pets. And it was really, really beautiful. Or maybe it was one of the animals. I can't remember who gave the message, but it was about like making sure we take time to receive the love of our pets and how actually imperative that is in like the whole circle of the service that you have with them together. Because I think often we get in the habit like there are children because we're taking care of them. We're in charge of their welfare, right? So you're like worried about them, want to make sure they're comfortable and they've been out to go to the bathroom and they've eaten enough or they've done. And it's like, yeah, but you actually need to just sit down and like take time to receive all the love that they have for you because that's their job.
Oh, and Izzy
you.
is 7 going on 8, they just said.
Ah,
She's going on 8, just
yeah,
to throw
okay.
that in.
She's like, hey, don't forget about my birthday.
But yeah, what you just said is completely accurate. Yeah, they're I want to tell people too, since we do have this call-in line on Telegram, just so that I don't have to double check with confirmations and sort of interrupt flow. I'm going to, from here on, what's in the group chat so far, I will still get confirmation on you with. But if you share a pet
You're
photo
agreeing to,
in
yeah.
here, then I'm going to say that we're going to take that as an agreement that you want to communicate with that pet. And I love it. This is so much fun.
Yeah, this is amazing.
You're so
I'm just
gifted
like,
at this.
oh.
We really appreciate that. This is like, you do this as a vocation, and what you are sharing with us right now is just like this free flowing, loving energy. And I know we all appreciate it. We have many questions in the chats to address.
Well, I just want to say that I appreciate it because it is my heart actually to want all the animals to get to share their messages. And it's so important, especially we all know what we're going through on earth right now. They carry such wisdom. They know so much. They can help us so much. What comes through sometimes is honestly like jaw-dropping wisdom. And for me to get to connect that way and allow them to share, it's my deepest honor. It's so profound. It's like I don't even know how to talk about it sometimes. My 7-year-old self is like freaking out.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could kind of go back in time and tell a child, Catherine,
Be like, this is what you're going to do.
Life is going to be like. Isn't it so good? And you just be like, what? I know I'd be excited. I love my life. I feel like my inner child is just right there with me all the time, and we're having so much fun.
I feel like my teenager might need to hear what's going to happen more than my inner child.
Like, yeah, teenager me.
Girl, it's going to be all right.
Teenager me got a lot of harsh criticism from young adult me, and it wasn't until earlier this year that it hit me. I was like, whoa, I've just been harboring a grudge towards teenage me, and I let that go, and it was a big release that gave me so much more freedom in life to do what it is I'm here to do. It was, I won't go into it too much, but there were things that changed about my life after high school, things that I loved that I was no longer able to access. And I blamed myself for it when it was really just the way life flowed. And it's not, I was looking at that version of myself like some sort of inferior
Yeah.
on a lot of levels. And really, it was just a different level of experience. And when I consider now from the perspective of an adult, and like instead of a young adult, what my teenage self was like, I realized how special and unique, and there's so many good things. And yeah, there was a lot I didn't know, and there were mistakes made in that, but
look at what we go through as teenagers. I mean, in human existence, like the hormones, the social integrate, the
prison. I mean, school. They got the same school bus as the prison bus. They got the same cafeteria. It's basically the same thing.
It's just like good job if you make it through your teenage years.
But let's bounce over to this question, because now we have the name of the previous passed away cat that may be returning as this homeless cat. But I'm sure you can.
And now I'm thinking I should know what the House of Dead Doll's name is, because
this requires
me to check the Akashic records. And so unless I know who you are, I mean, I could check, but I don't know if it would be completely accurate. Does that make sense?
Is it just a first name? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will give us enough context, House. And we'll get to that, and we'll maybe pivot to another question. Yeah. There's so many wonderful.
I'm ready.
You guys are interacting so much more than the average episode. I know this is it's so needed, the communication with these. It's so good. CV wants to know.
I could go on for hours about it. It's I'm just learning how important it was, which makes me laugh. Before I was like, communicate with animals. Really? That's going to be my superpower.
And now I'm like, if Katherine has a superpower, just think what superpowers are latent in you. Everyone listening.
Yes, everyone has them.
Everyone has them. It's
yeah, and they're not to be compared. They're just not to be appreciated.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
And honored.
So there's a question about why a male puppy has nightmares, and the puppy's name is Beep Beep. Beep Beep. Two letters. And if there's more context needed, like the first name of the person.
Did it say he was born dead?
Yeah, he was born dead.
Wow.
It could have a lot to do with the nightmares right there, possibly answering the
And then he survived.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And it's BB?
Beep Beep, like this.
Beep Beep.
Beep Beep. That's a fun name. Oh yeah, maybe they'd use the paddles on it, I would think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So if everyone wants to close their eyes, it can help. Yeah, it's related to past life soul memories, and he gets in a loop. He gets caught in a loop. So we can help him. What I know that would help him is blessings. If you felt like connecting to me privately, to bring in that. So with the blessings that I can offer, I call them blessings. You can call them whatever you want, that I offer as a practitioner. Basically, it's the source positive frequency and vibration, the information to come in to actually uplift and release that soul memory. And also there's other practices like guiding him in forgiveness. You know how we did the say hello in the beginning of the session where we asked them to follow along with us. So it's from a past life. It's past life memories. And I see him as it's interesting. He's like a ninja. And it's, I don't know if that's exactly what he was, but that's what I'm relating it to with my brain, what I'm seeing. It was some pretty intense, physically violent kind of stuff that was his job. That's what, he was a part of. And the part that I see that I'm being shown that loops is what his death in that lifetime.
Is it okay would you rather me share the website in the chat, or is your email okay to share?
You can share either.
Okay, I'm going to post the email in there because it sounds like maybe a little more focused work and is a very personal thing would be
Yeah,
good to maybe help with the
it
puppy
would be
nightmares.
good. And doing some forgiveness practice could help him release whatever ties he has that are keeping him in that loop, to learn that lesson, to release it. And the other thing I would do while he's sleeping, what I can tell you to do right now, is play the Love, Peace, Harmony song for him. That's what I would do. The Love, Peace, Harmony song works brilliantly with animals. It's a song, it's a mantra. It's a beautiful song, a source song. It's free to humanity. It was created and received to serve humanity, and it's a nonprofit organization now, and they actually use this song to create love, peace, harmony all over the world. It's not just me that likes to sing it to the animals. It's actually like this whole thing. But the animals respond to it so well because animals communicate. They're masters at communicating through frequency and vibration. That's what they do. I mean, we all do, but that's what they're tuned into. They don't have the monkey mind in the same way that we do. So you can play this song for him even on really low, and you can loop it. A person I was working with today said she just bought it off of iTunes for like 99 cents and then just loops it on some thing she's not using, some device. And what it does is it can raise his vibrational field. It basically harmonizes or like feng shui's your frequency and vibrational field, and then it can start to help him to release some of that negativity. So I would play it while he's sleeping. I would play it all the time, but I would play it while he's sleeping and see if you notice a difference.
That's
Give it a
wonderful.
week or so, like just play it and just try it out.
I already feel that the beep is going to benefit from this idea.
And it's lovepeaceharmony.org. I think you can download the song, and there's a phone app, or you just go on iTunes or YouTube or literally anywhere. And the artist is Master Shah, SHA, or Dr.
Cool.
Shah. Yeah.
And you guys out there in the
Free
chats
tool.
are so active tonight. I really enjoy this interactivity. Let's catch up with Sheba, the potential returning cat spirit, and we've got the name of our guest here, Marco.
Okay.
So Marco and Sheba, maybe we can tune into whether or not Sheba is attempting to come back into Marco's life.
So just so I'm asking it correctly, it's a feral cat that once in his house that he thinks potentially could be Sheba reincarnated.
Yes.
Okay. It's good to be clear on these things.
Yes.
This stray cat, the feral cat, is a I heard descendant, and then I checked. So it's they're connected, but it's not the same soul exactly. But they're connected ancestrally. They're connected. So it could definitely feel that way because they would share, right, similar information and frequency and vibration in their field just because they're connected that way. And there is message from Sheba. If you want to hear, let us know. We can deliver that message to you.
Okay. They'll let us know, I think, if Marco wants to hear a message from Sheba. I bet that he would. Let's see where we can go in the call-in line. Let me see. I'm trying to address these things in order. You guys, there's a lot. It's awesome. So I saw that Juliana shared her kitty, Lizzie. And if you want to hear a message from Lizzie, then let us know. But since it's in the call-in line, I'll share the image because this is a pretty kitty.
Oh.
I love the green eyes on that floofer. So pretty. So thank you for sharing, Lizzie.
Her message to everyone in general is hope. That's the word that I heard right away when I saw her.
I love that. I love that. It's beautiful. And okay, so here's Vincent from Melanie. He's a handsome boy. Looks like he likes to play in the water. Everyone just loves to show off their pet babies.
I love it. I love it.
Cool. And I think from here on out, then we'll be for sure to take the messages as wanted. But there's a nice story here that from Kaylee. Got to shout out Kaylee because um,
Hi, Kaylee.
she's in our Telegram group. She's a wonderful astrologer and has helped me massively in recent weeks, maybe even more than weeks, couple months. Really, really helpful, forthcoming with information and skilled at interpreting the charts in a way where we don't shy away from what's challenging, but show how you can take action with challenges to power up, instead of them being a blockage.
That's
So
right.
shout out to Kaylee. She's doing awesome work with astrology, and I would love it if some of our community could learn more about themselves by working with her. So find her in our Telegram group. But she says she wants to share what happened when she caught you on Rogue Ways last time. And she said she asked for a message from a special doggo that had passed away, and you gave her a very detailed message that included instructions to look on page 54 of a forest green book. And she mentioned your father who passed away when Kaylee and her sister were 12 and 13, but you weren't told that. So the first book that she thought of that was forest green was one that her dad had given her, and she wanted to share it was actually the first book she thought of, period, was one her dad had given her, and it turned out that it was that color. And she wanted to share what she found. So I'm going to read this on the air. This was the book, The Magician's Nephew. And the page 54, it says, "Shan't we? I'm not so sure," said Polly. They both looked at it hard, and as you might have expected, the letters cut in the stone were strange. But now a great wonder happened, for as they looked, though the shape of the strange letters never altered, they found that they could understand them. If only Diggory had remembered what he himself had said a few minutes ago, that this was an enchanted room, he might have guessed that the enchantment was beginning to work. But he was too wild with curiosity to think about that. He was longing more and more to know what was written on the pillar. And very soon they both knew. What it said was something like this. At least, this is the sense of it, through the poetry, though the poetry, when you read it there, was better. Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger, or wonder till it drives you mad what would have followed if you had. No fear, said Polly. We don't want any danger. Very cool. So I'll leave the rest of this, but I just like that poem. I think that was the real meaning here, is that life is there's no reason to shy away from. You actually go crazier if you avoid the danger in life than if you just go head first into the adventure. I think that's kind of the message here. And it sounds like this was a direct communication to Kaylee from her dad that was facilitated by you. And I'm sure that is like unbelievably powerful for her and really beautiful that we could share that with everybody here. So thanks for giving us that in the chat, Kaylee.
Yeah, thanks, Kaylee. I don't always know when it's a situation like this, right? Especially on Rogue Ways, which I love going on. I don't always know what the outcome is.
Yeah, you get to find out what happened next. Here's Beep Beep. I love your reaction.
An angel. Well,
That pose is just too cute.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, the name is, now I get the name. Definitely fits. Okay, so let's see. There's a lot in here. Some of this is maybe a little bit much to read. I'm sorry if I can't necessarily get to everything the call in line. I knew eventually someday it would get a little too much to handle, but we've got more in the YouTube chat. So, well, no, wait, let's address Sean's question. This is a great question. Sean asks if Katherine has any interesting stories about interacting with wild animals. About you interacting with wild animals.
About me interacting with wild animals.
Yeah, as opposed to pets, I guess.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I'll try to be brief because I can talk about this kind of stuff for a long time. But so a lot of animals that I've encountered physically are either like domesticated or in sanctuary or captivity, right? So, oh, but when I lived in the national forest in Australia, I used to have wallabies come in my yard all the time. And also, I don't know, do you know what a kookaburra is?
Actually, no.
We used to sing a song about it as children. I think it's like kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Anyway, gum tree is an eucalyptus tree, and I lived in a eucalyptus forest. And they're
It's not
like these
cuckoo bird, right? It's cuckoo. How do I spell it?
kookaburra, kookaburra,
Kookaburra. Okay.
Kookabura, and I'm probably saying it like an American, but
Now we got to see a picture of it.
there's
So I'm gonna
there,
pull it up.
yeah, sure. There are these amazing birds, but they eat meat, like raw meat. Yes. And if you have a clip of what they sound like,
I'll look for one.
that would be even better.
Okay.
Yes. So, when I lived in the forest, I was just like by myself. I had gone there with a family, but I was living by myself in this cabin in the middle of this forest in this country I'd never been to. But I was having all these like soul memories and activation happening, and I was seeing my third eye was just going nuts, and it was just this really interesting time. But the kookaburras used to come, and they would sit in the trees, and they make this noise, and it is like they sound like wild monkeys.
Oh yeah, they're called laughing kookaburras. Sorry, I'm redoing the screen share where I can get.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm apologizing, but I'm redoing the screen share where we can get sound. So that's a thing.
And there was this one that used to come every morning when I would meditate outside, and sit on this like structure that was in the garden. And we used to have this full on conversations and connection. And he would tell me about the forest and the wisdom and where I needed to go at what time to like receive this activation and meet these other animals. And I met an echidna when I was there. I don't know if you've seen an echidna before, but they're amazing little kind of anteater meets porcupine looking animals. And yeah. Also the lyrebird. I sat with a lyrebird for like an hour and a half one time, and they are like really hard to catch. Like, I don't mean catch, but to connect, like to see in physical, like really see. They only come out in the dusk and dawn, really. And they're known as like the ancient channels. Birds are like, they have found they're like over 3 million years old or something like that. Sorry if that's not super duper accurate, but that's what I was remembering.
Everything that I say that's scientific, I call it like podcast bro science.
Yeah.
Look it up. Don't quote me.
Podcast facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, can we just move past the whole like prove it and just like you prove it?
I'm past that. So they have these like dinosaur, ancient, prehistoric looking claws, and they're like these really crazy looking birds, but they're channels. So they can sound like anything. They can sound like a chainsaw. They can sound like humans, like a group of humans talking. They can sound like other animals. And so I sat with him and received all these downloads about just the history of the land that I was on and how I could help the land and the trees and the beings, because the Aboriginal population that used to be there, it's just indigenous. It's just so special. Like they didn't see themselves separate from a tree or a pebble or in anything. So the healing that was available, that I could facilitate in whatever way I could using my channels and different things, and just being that presence, was really, really powerful. And the animals were like a big part of that. And I used to sing to them. I used to go in the forest for like hours and just sit and sing. And pretty soon I'd look up and there'd be a little wallaby and a baby wallaby. And yeah, I think that was my most special experience. And then here in Colorado, me and hawks, they're like everywhere for me. Hawks are just
birds have always had a connection to higher or psychic knowing. I mean, when it comes to the green language thing that we're so fond of in this podcast, where we're looking at words from more than the left brain, diction of Aries definition and looking into the right-brained, more integrative, intuitive meaning, where it's like, well, what does it sound like other than what did we say it means? Because that changes everything. And we're a more inclusive look at words. They used to call that, I guess it's still called, the language of the birds, the language of the bards, the poetic and prosaic merging together. And then there's that idea of like omens coming through, seeing birds in the sky in certain forms or certain times or certain birds. And the point is that maybe we don't interpret omens the same way or even always correctly, but that everything alive is spirit. Life force energy is one. Like the thing about the universe that is oneness is the life force energy, not the containers and vessels that the life force energy flows through. That's where we get the multiplicity, but the life force energy itself is oneness. So that's why we have this connection across species between beings at all times. But anyway, I got the Kookaburra call, and we'll see how this sounds. I mean, it might be a little extreme, but I'll play it here. Oh my gosh, they're so loud. It's sorry, everybody. They do sound like monkeys. Oh my god. Okay.
So that's two of them. So imagine a forest.
They're a riot.
I would drop to the ground laughing so hard every time I would hear them. It would just break me open. Like, yeah, it's really, and then you think they're stopping and they start to slow down. And then it's like when you laugh and you think you're done laughing and then you all of a sudden burst into laughter again,
That's the best. I love that.
That's what they're like. That's what they bring. And the other way I think I would just want to mention that other animals come to me a lot on the soul level, but I haven't had as many physical experiences, but I would love to.
Very cool. Well, we'll catch up a little bit more with the chatters because they this is a good one. I believe you've met these two before. These are Gordy's little buddies, Dinky and Marmalade. Owls? And Gordy is one of our One Day of Brightness friends here. I just love their eyes. I wonder which one's Dinky. I think I can tell. So I don't know if he was asking. I don't know that he was asking for a message, but I'm sure he's open to it. But they just wanted to say hi to everybody. I think.
Hi.
They're so cute.
So Dinky says Dinky's telling everyone not to give up.
Don't give up.
Which sounds very simple, but
that just reminds me of Gordy in general. They share that mission. I mean, he's always supporting people on the chi level, like on the bioenergy level, showing and sharing what he does to connect to the land and stay strong. And
it's amazing.
He's a super strong guy. I would love, Gordy, I'd love if you called in. You're welcome to.
Call in, Gordy.
I'll throw, like, we'll keep doing animal messages, but I'll throw it over in the call-in line. If I get more than one of you, just so you know, I will take you one at a time probably. So you may hang out in the lobby till we do that. But I didn't do it on the YouTube or the Rockfin, but in the Telegram group where the 38 of you have joined this fun, vibrant call-in line group, there is now a StreamYard link. And we're specifically inviting Gordy, but others are welcome too, who are part of our fun tribe. Now, we got a specific request to go ahead and take a message from Vincent, who we showed. So I'm going to bring him back. And he is, we're requesting a message from him, from his owner, which is Melanie.
Melanie. Oh, wow. There's like, he has a animal guide. That's like a falcon. I instantly saw these huge, like, falcon wings over him in my third eye just now. So he has an animal guide who's a type of falcon. It's like the spirit animal guides don't always look right, just like the earthly animals, but similar. And he like stands on his back and puts his wings out so they can like fly. He's so fast. He says, I'm flying. Dearest one, my message for you is I love you so much, and I'm so grateful and happy to be here with you in this life. And he's showing me the number 3. And my message for you is the sooner you can realize more deeply your inner strength and softness work best together, that they are one, the sooner you will be able to move forward with your life's mission, including the specific project you are working on and wanting to bring to life. I believe in you 1,000,000,100%. And so does my falcon. We love you. And he showed me a beach ball. Wow.
Very cool.
I love that he has his animal guide. It's so cool.
That's the fun thing, is that we can realize that, like, they're souls, which means that we have a spirit team, they've got a spirit team, and it's this big interconnected fun web of infinite life and full potential. Makes me think, since you mentioned Tao healing, I'm super into I Ching, and there's a particular element of the 8 trigrams that form the I Ching hexagrams, which is called joyous, or the lake. And my interpretation of this particular one, it's the pink, which is a very high vibing color spectrum, right? To me, this is the multiplicity and interconnectivity of life. The reason why that's lake is because the lake has got, like, there's the land around it, there's the above the water, there's under the water, there's all these different life forms that converge in this area, and that everything's connected to everything, and there's not a linear path through these ecosystems and even through our own connection as human beings. Each being, what I'm getting at is, each being is the center of the mandala of infinity. And because it's an infinite mandala, that means every being may be in someone else's mandala in orbit around them, but for themselves, they're the center of the mandala. And that goes for every animal too, not just for the humans. And it's really cool to take that perspective on, and that the multiplicity and the infinite potential of life force energy to express itself as all these varieties would be called the joyous. Makes perfect sense to me by the wise keepers of the I Ching knowledge that is passed down to us. So that's super fun.
Beautiful. I love
Gandalf's coming back into the room. He doesn't usually do this during podcasts, but he keeps scratching at the door and having to be let
he
in.
knows it's an animal party. Yeah, mine is nowhere to be found, which is very typical.
I did see yours before the show.
He was all up in the mix, and then as soon as he knew it was go time, he was like, I'm out of here.
Let me see what else there is to manage over here on our call-in group. There's so much interaction. It's really good. Vincent is a phenomenal frisbee and ball dog, and they live on the Oregon coast. So maybe the frisbee reminds Vincent of his falcon, and because it flies to him.
Well, what I was seeing is the falcon helps him go fast and go up. Like the falcon literally is on his back, like helping him to fly. So I was seeing him jumping up in the air, and the falcon's like, woof, and they jump together. They're like a team. It's so cool. Oh, that's so neat.
Hey, Gordy, you're with us, buddy.
Hi, guys.
It's good to see you, man. Haven't had you call in for a little while.
You too.
Love you, buddy. So good to see you.
Love you, bro. Catherine.
Hi, Gordy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so happy to see you.
You too.
Oh, and Melanie said that that doggo we just looked at, Vincent, is a wise boy who helps her through each day, including working on a big project she's trying to bring to fruition. So you did mention that very nicely.
Yes, he mentioned that.
Oh, and Alan's got a gecko that we could look at. This is cool.
Oh,
Alan, is that your gecko? Is it a roommate's gecko? Is it someone like, does this share a home with you, or are you just seeing it this one time? Because I'd never heard of you and a lizard friend, but I love the reptile family.
me
Cool.
too. Yeah.
See if he has a response to that. But yeah, Gordy, what up? What up?
Oh,
Taking my cooking seriously.
you're cooking live with Gordy.
You're gonna
That's
sing
right.
to it too. Share. Tell us about
It's-
singing to your food.
So yeah, like this is something I've really started to take seriously. And this is usually what I'm doing when you guys go live is cooking, but really cooking with joy and lots of fat and good food and stuff, and it makes a huge difference when you're cooking with intention, and you're really putting yourself into it. That healing energy, like it, if you take your eating as a healing act, and you take your cooking as an healing act, it works. It does amazing things, and it helps you eat better things because the flow is telling you what you need. If that makes
And
sense.
your food carries that message. It's like, Dr. Emoto with his work with messages with water, the water crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done so many experiments this with right messaging and the vibration and everything. So, that's why they say like mom's cooking always tastes good, or home cooking, nothing tastes like it, because it's got that love and it's got that like purpose and intention to like feed the people you love. So I do this with my dog too. When I'm feeding him, I sing songs and I think of words, and I just like cook with the intent. I do cook him food, but I put together his food and I make sure I have an intention while I'm doing it, so that it carries that message. And love is so much easier to digest than like, oh, I don't really want to make food. I remember I was in Australia and my friend was like having this experience. She came to visit me and we're in the woods and she's having this experience with this relationship. And she's like ranting about it and making these eggs. And she looked up at me and I was like, I'm not eating those angry eggs. Let's go into the forest. I was like, I'm not eating those angry eggs. We're going to have to do something different. It was just funny. I love that you do that, Gordy.
No, it makes a big difference. It really does.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, singing is one thing. I've been really more consistently just saying thanks, prayer before the meal, and I definitely can't see any reason why it would hurt. It feels like it helps. Just think that the more intention we can put into life, the more we trust that that's actually way more important than controlling an outcome, because everything in life is really an offer, and spirit is constantly waiting for us to make known what it is we want. And by being in a lack mentality in different ways, we're actually asking for more of that in a sense. But I want to share, here's the gecko again that Alan had. The gecko is named Oliver, and they used to share a living space because I think Oliver belonged to a friend. And he didn't ask for it specifically, but I think that Alan would be willing to see if Oliver had anything to say to him. I mean, we did mention that in this group, what you share is open to receiving a message. And I love the energy of this jumper right here. So cool.
Okay, Oliver has a message for everybody.
Awesome. Gordy, I'm going to mute you for your cooking if you don't mind, and I'll pull it off.
Sorry,
later.
What's the old roommate's, the person holding what's his name again?
This is Alan.
Alan. Hi, Alan. Okay. And the gecko's name?
Oliver.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. There's a lot.
There's a lot
There's
of
a lot going on.
information. And then on the soul level, there's like so many animals, but they're like, you said every animal's message could be heard. Okay. how the secret of life is to know one's heart is not separate from the other. It is the mind that distinguishes. It is not your heart's truth to be separate at any time. There is no difference on the soul level, the purest source level, between a tiger and a gecko. The Buddha can come in any form. This is my message for you. How?
That's amazing. I think
That's a very, I saw that gecko, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And I was like, that's such a wise soul. Who knows who that really is?
and it's the same life force energy in all of us. So exactly what Oliver just said is how I would describe what the Tao is, at least as an attempt to.
If it was describable.
If it was describable, yeah. We're only talking about an aspect of it, not the whole totality of it, but the Tao is that flowing movement and change that animates everything, right? I mean, there's more to it because it can't be contained in a limitation, but that's so cool. Oliver, wonderful message. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing Oliver to us as well.
So I have a question, Catherine.
Yeah.
So different animals have a different feel.
Wait, Gordy.
Correct.
Sorry. Alan said that he kept Oliver's home covered with a black blanket with a tiger logo patch. So there's the tiger. Jeez, you're just really
I saw
good.
the tiger too. I really saw the tiger. I was like, wow.
You can't make this stuff up, people.
So Catherine read for my daughter heard about her dog that had passed away about a year ago or so. And
such a
Catherine
cute name. What was the name? What was the name of the dog?
Nightingale.
What was it?
Repeat that. You cut a little.
Nightingale. Isn't that so precious?
Yeah. And you nailed it with her toys and her blue blanket. Like it was her kind of security blanket, and you nailed it. Like every single one. And Hope still brings it up every once in a while. Hey, you ever talk to that friend of yours again?
She needed that, your daughter. She needed that specific connection to come through so powerfully. So Nightingale brought it,
Yeah.
I'm hearing, that really helped her actually.
Oh, I think it did.
Faith in whatever it was she needed to have faith in at that time. Sometimes we need that, we need that like, wait, it's not just what I see, or, whatever that is. Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing that. I'm glad that touched her heart. Yeah, so sometimes like Nightingale, they show toys and blankets because they're just like really wanting to connect very specifically to their human so that their heart can open and they can receive the love and the message that's coming through. Sometimes I feel so crazy, like I don't want to say it. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to say that. What is that true? But I have to, and then it always is.
So after we talked the first time and you connected with my owls, I've kind of started making a practice of, because I meditate under their tree anyway, and of just kind of connecting and listening to them. And I've done that kind of throughout the desert because I walk all over the desert out there where the owls are. And I've seen two Gila monsters, if you're familiar with Gila monsters. And they feel very like, and I'll try and connect with them, like just kind of listen, kind of spiritually listen. and they have a very heavy wisdom, like Alan's gecko, like, hey, there you go. That's
Yeah, I was like, I
Oh,
was gonna ask you to share pictures of the
are
owls, and
you
I was like,
sure?
I'm resourceful. I can find where you've already shared them. So here's
Oh, and
one
I
of
was
them.
looking up a Gila monster. Oh my
that's
goodness,
Peter.
how amazing are
Uh,
those?
Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going to share a bunch of pictures in there then.
Yeah, someday we need to get. I mean, we've done it on weaving. Someday we need to get the story of you with the owls to this group.
These
Gordy's
owls.
just had an amazing adventure with these two,
Yes.
and the young that they've raised that Gordy's got to witness. Really cool.
Well, and the way that the owls connected, I think that might have been the first or second time I was on Roadways ever, which I've been on every month for like a year now. Um,
All-time champion
I
of
didn't know
Rogueways.
I didn't know Gordy at all, and these owls came through, and it was amazing what they shared. It was so specific and so detailed. I think it really connected to him and his purpose with them and his connection to them and everything in a powerful way. Um, yeah, he needs to write a book about those owls.
I think he does. I think it seems like he keeps getting that message enough that probably in some form it'll happen. And it could even be simple. And it's just
Yeah,
like the pictures and
we'll
the
just
general
flow right
story.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
no
I would
problem.
read it. I want it on my coffee table. Now, there's one particular. Oh, yeah. Alan, by the way, could share, since you just gave the title of that episode, Alan, if you drop a link, then it should work. You've got a wrench on YouTube, so you should be able to share actual links and people could pocket that episode where Gordy tells the full story because it is really cool. It's episode 51 of Weaving Spiders Welcome. Night Owls, a real whodunit. But I have a kind of special thing tonight going, which is that my dad's been joining us, which is awesome. I know he tunes in
Hi,
sometimes,
Dad.
but maybe never to a live stream while we're in the flow. And every time he's hanging out, he's got this little lovely with him. This is Juno, my parents' kitty, and she's just such a sweetie. I've got another picture of her here. And I'd love to, I mean, this is an important cat to me and my family, and I would love to hear what message Juno has to share. She's a sassy one, but she's very sweet. And my dad's name is Tim.
Hi, Tim. I'm just kind of taken aback by everything that's coming, washing over
She's
me.
talkative.
Yeah, she has such a presence, and you're right. She is. It's sassy, but it's like this grounded, fiery sass. I want to share with you what I immediately saw and received when I saw the image. One of her, like I say, Heaven's team, however you want to say it, is Mother Mary, actually. That's the message I got. She's very connected to Mother Mary, who's a powerful guide and teaches amazing things about forgiveness and grace and compassion and love. And that's similar to what, I mean, look at her eyes. So amazing. Yes. But you have to tell me her name one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, Juno.
I'm going to write it. I have
And what's a
pen and
funny
paper.
sync is there's other pets just shared in the call-in line, and one of them is named Jupiter. So Jupiter and Juno are married. So in mythology, we'll get to that though. That Jim shared that, but one thing at a time. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Juno.
Okay. How old is she?
I want to say that she's probably around the age of 8 or 9.
Okay. And is there more animals in the household?
She is an only child.
Okay. She's just like, I'm smiling because she's just like so happy to be a part of your family. She's just like, this is where I belong. I was always coming to be with this family. It was like written in the records. Even though she might have come in an interesting way that felt a little bit unexpected in one way, and then like completely synchronistic in how it was meant to be at the same time. And she's just telling me a lot of things. She is very talkative. She's saying buttercup, so I don't know if that resonates. She's how, dearest ones, my beloved family and friends, it is important for me to share my love and honor for each of you. Thank you for gathering here and hearing and allowing the animals to share their message with you in this powerful way. Imagine carrying all this wisdom and messages, and above all, love, with only a percentage of it being received. I'm so grateful for everything. The lessons I have learned, for my family, for my yard, for my connection to Mother Nature, to Mother Mary, and to all of those beloved animals before me in this house. Feel my love and joy. Take care of your pets and allow them to take care of you. For this is truly a unique partnership, one of the heart, in the purest way. Wow. Wow, Juno.
She had a lot to say. And you're right about the unexpected, because it was my sister's cat, and then my sister couldn't take care of her, and so she went to my parents. And I think it's funny that you mentioned Buttercup and the pets that came before, because although it's not the same type of flower, my dad, who this is his cat, I mean my mom's cat too, but Juno was the next cat, unexpected. And before that, they had a very beloved cat named Lily, which is a flower name, who died unexpectedly young, because, that's a complicated story. But I think it's really interesting that she's coming through with that message of the flower and the pets that came before, a flower name, and that she was an unexpected addition, but brings so much happiness to them. Like, she really does like to be a part of the family. So I won't linger too much on Juno. We know that all the animals have equally profound things to say to us, but as usual, Catherine, your message hits, and I feel it, and I hope my dad was still around to hear that.
I know. I hope so, Tim. I hope you're able to receive that message. I wanted to say one thing. I was feeling like buttercup. I was seeing a flower that looked more like a daffodil, to be honest. But then I was hearing that like that's a name that somebody calls somebody. So maybe that resonates on that level. Maybe your dad will know about that.
Cool.
And it, yeah, that's so interesting because it was like, I've always meant to be with your family, and I was, but it was unexpected, but also not because, so that makes sense. Thanks for sharing that. I love hearing the feedback.
Alan says he's eating buttercup squash. Is that a thing, or you mean butternut squash? Maybe buttercup squash is a new kind of squash to me. Cool though. Right. So Gordy, you're back. Here's some more owl photos since you shared these with us. Thank you. They're so amazing. I hope people do check out that weaving episode with the
I want
the
to
owls.
check it out.
It's really good. The full story will blow your mind. It really will. Especially when I mean, maybe at least we could tell the story since the Vibrant crew is familiar with Mitch, maybe just remind everyone of how the gifting process brought the owls back. I mean, it doesn't tell the whole story of your connection to them, but that's something we could get into rather easily, and people will resonate with that.
Right. So Mitch has been connected with, I learned about Mitch through you and Lindsay, and I learned about Katherine through Lindsay. So all roads point to Lindsay, apparently. But my owls disappeared for 4 to 6 months, something like that, this last year. And I was trying to figure out what was going on with them because they didn't have babies in the spring. And just the season before, they had done 5G work on the tower that's near the owl tree. And so, that is a roadrunner that just came up to my wife at her work. And this roadrunner had a busted up beak and a bad foot. And this thing just came up to her to pick him up, like her up. She was just at the door asking for help, essentially. Like, she came up, I think you came, left, and it came back, right? Yeah, she shooed him away, and then it came back and didn't realize it was hurt. It was hurt, came to her for help, and so she brought her to me, who I gave her to a wildlife center to take care of her and rehab her.
The world needs more wildlife rehabilitators, really. That would be such a cool job or vocation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So the owls, there was, these are my bats too. I have bats in.
You're just full of it, Gordy.
Well, that's the thing. I've been kind of on this thing. That's one of my babies. That's
you got baby owls. You got mama owl, papa owl.
I think that's Squiggy. He was like the last one in the tree, all fuzzy. But
okay, I'll stop distracting you though, and you can.
Sorry, yeah.
Tell your
so
tale.
I can tell the story. So, so I found out about Mitch. I got contact with Mitch. He gave me a bunch of those earth pipes, and I gifted the area between the tower and the tree. And the next Monday, I did that on a Friday about a month ago. And on the next Monday, they returned. They were there that Monday morning when I came back. So that's pretty cool.
The animals do feel the effects of the dissonance with technology that we're inflicting on the realm, but it's not that I don't want to say this the way that it often gets brought up, where it's like, whoa, we're ruining everything and it's all doom, because as complicated as those crazy Sauron towers are and the dissonant frequencies are, that's the thing about like lies and untruth, is it's really complex, but truth is super simple. So the solution with the earth pipes is really easy and simple. And you have the immediate feedback in your environment with your animal guides that shows, yes, what you did helped, and we appreciate it. And we're coming back to you now that we can cohabit this space because of the repair that you did to the earth's aura with those very simple technological improvements through the earth pipes, the orgonite earth pipes. Really cool. Yeah. So good on you, Gordy. Good job. Everyone should feel like there's something they could do about the issues with 5G and EMF, because there is, and the only lie is that you don't have the power to heal or to help. You do, and it's simpler than the lie.
Well, Katherine can back me up on this probably, that you can pretty much heal from anything. You can,
yes.
You can fix almost anything. You know, doctors are great for acute illness and that kind of stuff, but you know, like, I don't know, because I don't know if I've shared this with you, Katherine, but I was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2014, and a lot of the owls were teaching me, I think, was healing, was my own healing, because I would meditate under that tree and do like chi exercise and trying to build up my chi to do energy healing on my brain, essentially, at the time. And it really focused that, like being with the owls, like knowing that there was something bigger and wider after they were there with me, kind of doing it with me. Like, I think it ramped up my awareness a ton.
Yeah, that's beautiful. No, I don't know that I've ever heard that story. I don't know that I knew that about you, but I believe it. That's great. Congratulations. That's beautiful. Animals bring so much healing and everything to us, the wisdom, just because they're just in the unconditional love, and that's what heals everything. It's
And who did
beautiful.
we see in your lap a moment ago for the
He's
audience?
still in my lap. He's just laying low. He's a low rider. This is Mr. Ping, my dog companion.
He won the human lottery to be able to have Katherine.
Well, he taught me. This is so funny. I know you don't, but don't you want to say hi to everybody? Is that okay like that? He came to the healing center I was going to as like a 1.5 pound puppy. His soul knew right where to go. Like, there was no question about it. I was gonna say, and he's been teaching me, like, he's the one who taught me and showed me very practically how the gift of animal communication could be like so amazing and practical and serve so much, you know. I just wanted to share really briefly that he goes through a lot, my dog, because all the healing and everything that's being facilitated through all the stuff that we do, he also processes it, and it's part of his up leveling and everything as well too, right? Part of his service and part of his purpose and why he's with me. And he was really going through it, like, I mean, like, couldn't move, like, for, you know, sometimes he purifies like that. So I did a communication because I didn't know what was going on. And it was one where it was like kind of hard for me to access, actually. And I did hear it was 5G, actually, which it was earlier when I was tuned into that, but I just hadn't thought of that. And so, yeah, I got guidance on what to do for him and how to help him transform it. And he did. Yeah, he did a good job.
So awesome. And yeah, like, the truth is simple about that, which my favorite way to describe it lately is, if you've ever seen metronomes, if you got like 25 metronomes and you start them all individually, separately, and wait, they all will be in sync with each other by the end. your cells are metronomes. They are frequency. And if you put something harmonious, a frequency that's harmonious, they call it scalar wave tech with the orgonite, your cells will adapt to that over the thing that's dissonant, which is like 5G. There's not a proper rhythm. There's not a natural, harmonious or balanced rhythm to those waves. But the great thing about nature is it's a built-in design element of nature that the harmonious waves are what biology intrinsically adapts to. And the only reason that 5G with like dissonant frequency to it, disharmonious, is able to be harmful in the first place is because we're in these like rectangles, like surrounded by the electrical devices, and there's wiring in the walls and all this EMF. And so we've created like these little cocoons of separation between us and nature's constant harmonious rhythms that are just
Well,
there
and
at all
our own
times.
nature, our own natural rhythm, we're also
Yeah.
separated from. There's like, that's what I was just hearing. There's like if there's an alignment within you, then it can be experienced differently.
Yeah, and you can be the orgonite device is what I'm getting from you there. Like you get your chi right, you become a walking transmuter of.
Which is exactly what he did with his.
And Slick says Gordy is like a kung fu Snow White guru badass. He summons butterflies too. I've seen that. Sometimes Gordy gives us little videos and clips of instructions and chi work over Telegram, and butterflies show up in the video. You can't make it up. He's a transformation guru. I mean, that's what butterfly represents on a spiritual, metaphysical level. So there's so much goodness here tonight, guys. There's more in our call-in line too. I'm going to cue that up, but you guys go. I'll mute myself.
Owls too. Owls are a symbol of rebirth as well, and seeing through the illusions of life. Hey, Katherine, why do you think they were called away for that time?
Their names are Peter and
Gwen.
And Gwen. The two owls.
I heard protection. And so then I asked protection on what? It's layered is what I'm hearing. So there was protection and realization. So they were teaching something, which obviously came full circle, which is what we were just talking about. That is the whole lesson that they were bringing. And there was a way that they were protecting themselves, and they also had something to do. They didn't go very far. And they knew they were coming back. Because, your guides, their guides, it's all this communication was happening. So they were guided to, they were instructed to go. And I'm hearing it did help. It was also to protect them in that. I'm not super clear on the whole protection part of it, but it was like there's layers of it. It had to do with the land and you and them, and ultimately.
And they have a lot of offspring in the land, so who knows? Maybe they had some kind of quest related to that. They've been prolific reproducers, as Gordy has shared in the larger story of that. But I got to catch up on our call-in line because the time it is a passing. Jim.
Thank you, Katherine.
Yeah, thanks, Gordy.
Our co-weaver, Jim, Weaving Spiders, welcome.
Hey, Jim.
He has a question about Zipper, Maybelline, and Jupiter. And so we are meeting the goats. We did intend to talk to some goats. And they may have a message for us or for Jim.
I'm just writing it down so I don't have to be like, can you tell me again?
Oh yeah.
I wrote a Zipper, Maybelline, and Jupiter.
And Jupiter is funny because that's Juno's husband in the mythology.
Oh my gosh, look at them.
they look so happy. Look at their faces. They are smiling at us.
They're so happy. They look like puppy dogs.
It'd be a good life to be one of Jim's goats, I bet.
Yeah,
Sign
dude,
me
he
up.
babies those things.
He's such a nice man.
Well, they're your ancestors. You know, they're connected to your ancestors. They are your ancestors, is what I heard. So you take care of them in a way, it just naturally comes out of you, even though actually it is a lot of effort, but it doesn't, you don't feel that way about it. You wouldn't even think or notice anything about it. And I have a feeling that's probably how you take care of a lot of beings and things. That's the nature of your heart. But they have taken care of you. So two of them, let's see who. Sorry, there's a lot going on. Okay, so hopefully you're open to this. Maybelline was your grandfather in a lifetime, and Jupiter was your grandmother. And they took care of you much like the way you're taking care of them now. And so it is like, you made this promise on a soul level to yourself that you would take care of them in any lifetime that you were together in any form. And so they bring a special gift to you. It's actually like a lot of spiritual virtue, which is basically just like, it's like a spiritual currency. It's like, when we do good things, we get virtue. Or when we just are love, or we're just, and I'm hearing you saved their life, actually. They're showing me like this blue cone shaped thing. I can't tell what the message is about it, but I just thought I'd share that that's what they're showing to me. It looks like maybe it's like I don't know if you have an obstacle course or something set up for them. Dearest, my beloved one, this is Maybelline speaking, the one you know as Maybelline. I love you with all of my heart. You have the most generosity I have seen in a human being. It is so natural to you to be this way. So natural that the humility keeps you from seeing what you fully offer others through this generosity. You will receive a gift in 3 to 5 years that will be substantial and exactly what you need. This is a gift from your ancestors and from Jupiter and I. We love you very much. And then I heard, thanks for the snacks. How?
Very auspicious. Jupiter's got a gift for you. Jupiter is like, he's an amazing character in the mythology too, where it's all about that expansion and those beautiful gifts that are available to us at all times if we tap into the energy and practice the gratitude for it, right? And I think you're probably accurate with that description of Jim in terms of being a very generous man. So I'm going to keep us moving because I don't want to run out of time. What we've got in the call-in line is fun. And Jenny B shared this message, this little clip. It says, "From us and the animals, we love you, Catherine." So there's some gratitude here. I'm going to play this. It's very short. They love us so much. Oh, that's fun. That's a good little looping clip. Thanks, Jenny.
I love it.
So good.
Thanks, Jenny.
And Alejandra shared this image of one of hers. I don't know if we got a name for this one. I'm doing my best to keep up with you guys, but wow, so much shared. It's really great. Appreciate it so much. This is a gray and white kitty too, just like you here. There's a theme going for sure. All right, what else is there? Guys, this has been so fun. This is Coda, and I'm going to show Coda, and Sue shared Coda in the chat. And Coda is dearly missed, I believe. Has passed over or crossed over, but so good. Oh, my dad says, "Thanks, Catherine." Juno thanks you. So cool that you're in here, Dad. Really appreciate it.
I
You're
love
watching
it.
us.
Thanks,
but Coda,
Tim.
sweetie Coda, thank you for sharing that one.
Keep your head up. Coda says, "Keep your head up."
That's good.
You know, what you said about Dinky earlier was really on point too, because she is that character that's the encourager. You know, like she's the one that when you're bummed, she's the empathetic one that comes and snuggles when you don't want it.
Was she the one on the left?
Know, yeah, the one on the left, the black and white one. She is the encourager. So yeah, you nailed it. But the animal you shared earlier, I can't remember what it was, but was talking about encouraging us, allowing them to encourage us or to connect with them. Mm-hmm. Receive it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really important. Because I think that's
it is. It's as important as making sure they're fed. That's the message I was getting. It's just as important. It's just the other half of the.
So another thing that we got, this is an interesting share. It's a geoglyph. I won't play the whole clip, but it's just interesting how long we've had these connections to ancestors. This is a geoglyph, 2,000-year-old, they claim, etched into a hillside in the Nazca Desert of this giant cat, a giant feline figure found by archaeologists. Pretty amazing. Awesome. I just love to see like the art like that, the ancestor art. And it makes me think too of how what you mentioned about Jim's goats could literally be ancestors coming to us in a new form so that they can share in the modern life to a capacity and help us. It's awesome. Now, Alejandra gave us more context on the kitty she showed. That's her kitty, Lulu. And Alejandra wants to know if Lulu could possibly be the reincarnation of a rather famous cat named, they called it Room 8, because at a high school called the Elysian Heights Elementary School, there was a cat. Apparently I think this elementary school became an apartment, and they lived in the room where this famous cat lived back in the 60s. And so here's Alejandra with the Room 8 kitty, and she's got her kitty, and she wants to know if there's a possibility that Lulu, her kitty, is the famous Room 8 cat that lived in that exact spot, returning to the modern age to share a life with Alejandra. This is a really cool question.
I'm getting yes. You notice I took a minute to like really go there because
Yeah.
I don't want to say something that's not true.
I just love this photo. Everything about this photo. Good vibes.
Oh my gosh, and look at room 8. That's a that's a that's a 19-year-old. That's a 21-year-old. Can you do the math for me? How old is that cat?
Looks like 21 years old. And
Yeah.
I mean, I had to skim it, but I believe the story had to do with this cat was like a community cat, you know? It was famous. This kitty was
So,
famous. So you
famous
got
longevity
Alejandra has
kitty.
a rock star kitty reincarnated in her home. I'm sure just full of loving vibes. I mean, I'll go back to the picture of her now name is Lulu. Beautiful kitty. I'll grab that photo too. Ha, flipped right to it. I'm so good. I just hit the scroll
Ooh,
wheel.
I just
I just
got
flicked
chills everywhere.
I flicked the scroll wheel and hit this one exactly. I love when that happens.
And then I just got full on body goosebumps, chills. So that's
Yeah.
confirmation that, because whenever you do a reading like that, I trust, but I'm also like, is that real? So
Gordy, my dad says you're a great person. You got the endorsement of my padre. I love that. Dad,
Thanks,
it's so good
Dad.
to have you here, Dad. What a fun night. We were just all hanging out, and I had to rush back to the house and leave the family get together to jump on the stream, and it all aligned really nicely. The timing was good. Such a fun night. But okay, let's see where else we've got. And you guys, you two mingle. It's fine. I'll do
I
the
know.
producer thing in the background.
I'm wondering if like how badly my cheeks are gonna hurt from not being able to stop smiling.
It's a good problem to have. Mine have gotten strong. Like I'm just full time cheesing
Yeah.
it lately.
Yeah, me too. I can really feel it. It's so powerful. It's like I can feel the animals' joy, They're so happy to get to share. I realize that more and more deeply. I think, Gordy, you resonate with that really well. You understand that wisdom. You have such a deep connection to the animals. Such a beautiful way.
I was thinking about that too. I was talking about singing and how important it is because you always sing. And you're always, singing to the animals and for the animals. And I think it's important because Chance and I have talked about this, that vibration is a huge thing for healing and connecting and healing. Like, I think that grounding myself out, learning to ground myself with the owls, like, has really been a huge thing, and kind of feeling that vibration of the earth makes you more sensitive to everything around in nature. And I think using that, we can use that to heal ourselves. Right?
Yeah,
Chance?
and they offer such a wisdom and perspective. It's perspective, but not in the traditional sense. It's like a beyond perspective. I mean, just think of the embodiment even of the owl, like the way they look around and the way they sit up at night and the stillness that they can embody, and even in flight. I mean, everything can be going on and nothing also. Like everything's happening in that stillness for them. It's just this amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Their superpowers are amazing. They're completely stealthy. They'll disappear on you in a heartbeat, and you won't know if you blink. They'll just disappear and they're gone because you can't hear them fly. You can't hear them take off.
No, and the connection that.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just got excited.
No, I was just saying how they can hear, stuff underground. Their hearing is so amazing. And what's really interesting too is their ears are offset from each other. So they have actually a better hearing ability than stereoscopy. Like, because we hear most mammals hear in stereoscope, they're like a stereoscope. There's two channels. Whereas owls, they have two channels, but they're offset and they're amplified by the feathers in their eyes, that those rings in their eyes that funnels the sound to those ears. And not only do they have night vision, but they have like super hearing too. Like they'll know well before anything else is around that tree if there's a predator around.
Yeah, and they're hearing, what I'm hearing as you're saying that is we're talking about hearing like how we hear, but also, right, it's like every feather hears, every ounce of them is actually receiving, responding, communicating, through that frequency and vibration. What I always hear when I connect with them, just owls in general, I've done a lot of connecting, and also like the heavens animals, owls, the guides, the spirit guides, they are that like bridge direct. They exist in the soul, soul world and in the physical form, like simultaneously. Like they are bringing that to where they are.
Check this out. Holarchy shared this a little higher up in the chat, but
yeah.
Hello, Holarchy. Hey, buddy.
In your brain.
Text
Holler
me.
at you, Holarchy. In your skull, there's called a sphenoid bone structure that esoterically resembles an owl. I'll skip to another share that is in here on it. Here we go. So you can see here that the nostrils and where the eye holes are, if you cut that out and look at it, it looks like an owl with the wing spread. And this is very interesting because you're seeing both worlds at once. It's showing how it's the connection between the eyeballs that see the outer world and the pituitary gland in the inner, not the pituitary, I guess, yes, pituitary and pineal gland, this connection that even what we think we perceive as the outer world and what we're using our eyeballs to see the external world with is actually the exact same mechanism as our inner sight and the inner light. It's just we have this illusion of the separation between inner and outer that we believe, oh, I'm seeing out there, but everything that you ever perceive is in here. And owl is a good symbol for that, as it's able to see in the dark in ways that human beings currently believe they can't. But we got another good message, so I'm going to hold on to the flow for a minute, if you guys don't mind. Jenny B shared, well, first, okay, I'll skip ahead. This is just a quick little detour. Legs from False Reality Check shared a hummingbird from their backyard that they will be missing the hummingbirds in their region that they're moving with Izzy. They're all moving to Idaho, but that's a just beautiful bird since there's been so much bird chat. But now getting down to it, Jenny B gave us in the call-in line an oracle message from an animal oracle deck, and this deck is really cool. She turned me onto it, and I've been using it too. I've used it the last couple of readings this morning. I was really happy to discover it and add it into my toolkit. I love new decks. So people, if you have decks that you like, share it with me. If you want to send it to me as a gift, that's fine. I'll give you my address, but I might buy it, because I'm always ready to expand the possible options and messages available. But the Dove Spirit says, be at peace. And I think this is a cool message because, first of all, it's 21, which is the year we're in. And it's a year a lot of people are having trouble finding peace, finding the inner quiet, the inner knowing, and meditation and tranquility go hand in hand. Spending time going within is more important now than ever. And back to Holarchy, shared that earlier in the YouTube chat, I scrolled up to find this. Holarchy said a while back, I keep hearing the birds, doves in particular, singing, geez, us Christ. Like they're saying that. So it's amazing because this 21 is also a 777. And I love the artwork of this deck because it shows all the animals in their resplendent royalty form and with crowns and jewels and adornments and the way that human beings would look if they were in an ascended state. So these are ascended master doves. And the ultimate question of both Christ energy and the dove, which Yeah, it's really like what you've all heard, what would Jesus do? But you could just replace that in a non-denominational or non-religious way with what would peace do? What would be the most loving option in every moment? And you get to, if you have the heart for it, you can engage life that way at all times and watch the way that reality responds to that instead of the combative or the lacking mentality. There's probably more about doves that are relevant here too, but I just love that we're getting all these messages from the birds in general. So thanks for the oracle card. That's fun, guys. If anyone wants to throw an oracle card at us in the call-in line sometime
Ooh,
in the
can
future,
I show you something? Can I be right
please.
back? Okay, I'm going to
Please,
be
yeah.
right back. Keep the flow rolling. I'll be right back.
Okay, how do I do that? All right, what do I talk about? Let's see.
Here, I'll show you.
We got Gordy. Will you keep the flow going for me? What do you got?
This is what we're eating tonight. Cowboy casserole.
All right.
Okay.
That was fast, Catherine.
I didn't have to keep much flow going at all.
I had to borrow that Falcon.
Juliana says in the chat too that apparently she learned in the InnerVerse chat today. Maybe I missed that. I've been really busy today. I love that you guys keep our Telegram channel active and sharing all the love and the gravy and the info and the gnosis all day. So good. Juliana said that she learned that Dove is also Scorpio, which is great because we're in that transformative Scorpio energy. And look, Scorpio could be this idea of the scorpion, or it could be the Aquila was what it was called before, which represented an eagle or some form of a bird. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some cultures would put a dove there. I know I'm saying a lot right now. Now it's really, we need to get to Catherine, but think about this.
No,
Rachel also in the chat gave us this awesome idea yesterday about what if the zodiac and the gods associated with it and the mythology associated with it, what if you just maybe tuned that up to something that you resonated with more? Because Scorpio is about transformation, destroying illusion and all that. And, you know, the idea of the stinger and death that it can bring, that's a transformative energy too. Sure. And Scorpio is also about purity. And so if we're looking at Scorpio as the scorpion, isn't that kind of like the dissonant polarity of purity because it becomes toxicity? Not that there isn't a reason and a loving place for scorpions in the reality, but we have sort of this connotation with it. And dove is a different aspect of purity. And the idea of what would the loving thing to do be in every moment, or how do I bring peace to every moment? That's transformative. So do we transform with the stinger, or do we transform our reality with the peace and the love? So I love, Juliana, this comment you made about Dove and Scorpio, since that's the season we're in right now. And it's a really different year for me in the energy of this time of year, feeling like I'm still on an upward trajectory, even though we're like things are cooling off and the sun's getting lower. I don't know if other people can relate to that, but it's like the Libra moment hit different and the scales are different. And I don't feel this diminishing into the winter of my consciousness or of my excitement for life or of my just positivity. I hope other people are feeling that too. That
this is always how I feel this time of year. I always
feel
like
maybe I'm just catching up.
Well, no, I've always resonated. You know, I spent almost a decade in Hawaii, and I didn't go through this same change. So I think when I came back to where there's, you know, seasons to experience physically, yeah, I realized it actually. I was like, wow, I just like thrive when it starts to happen this way. I want to share something with you. Is now a good time to share?
Yeah. We're gonna move towards the wrap up, but doesn't mean
Okay,
that
cool.
you don't need to hurry this up. I just want you to know that
Well,
I respect your time and we set 2 hours.
I'm just having so much fun with y'all, and I respect your time too. So please let me know if you need me to stop. But
well, it'll end when it is good time. We're all good. I'm loving tonight.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I really appreciate it. I needed it. It's like so nourishing for me to collectively be doing this with so many different people. I can feel it, right?
This community is different.
Yeah, it's
really
so
good.
amazing. It's really amazing. So mad love. Beautiful love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here and bringing your heart to mine. I'm really, really, really grateful, and sharing your connection with your animals too is so special. So I'm actually going to make an Oracle deck when I get around to it.
I'm
But
gonna want one.
you know, I channel paintings too, right, from Heaven's animal guides, and also, you know, with the messages and the frequency and the vibration. So when you showed that hummingbird, I was like, oh, I want to share this painting that came through recently. Sorry, I'm not sure how to share that. There we go. This is
It's
like
gorgeous.
Heaven's hummingbird, and it was so profound how it came through in the moment it came through. So if you want to just take a moment to just feel that frequency and vibration and that message that comes through to you from it. So I am actually getting this photographed professionally, and so it can be made into other things. And then while we're on the birds, another one of the amazing messengers that I love to connect to is the peacock, which I actually have several peacocks that have come through, but this is the most recent one. And something you were sharing, Chance, about something, just I can't even remember what it was that you said, but reminded me of this intention, this strength, this, you know, it's like Kuan Yin and her 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes, and the compassion and the there's also a lot of like Phoenix rising energy in here, and just the majesticness, if that's a word. And see how it's off center also. So whatever you want, you can receive from that as well. Please do.
Peacock has a very like source energy, reminding us that everything is eyes. And hummingbird, to me, I associate with joy, just the nourishment that joy brings, because they are always seeking out the sweetness in life. And we could live that way too. That was a big consistent theme that comes through with the morning divination I do on the short live streams that I get into with the cards, and that I will keep repeating it because I want everyone to know you can actually live a life that's just fun and just sweet. That sacrifice doesn't have to be sacrificing what you love and what's fun. You can actually sacrifice out of your life and decrease the things that don't flow and that don't fit your soul. And that brings more of what does. So there's another one. I'm going to remove my face from the screen so I can look
I
at
love
this
what you
big.
just shared, though. It's so important. I just, this one was just sitting here. It's waiting to be picked up by its owner. So I thought I would. This is also a peacock, very different message in this one, but yeah.
Thank you for sharing these. I didn't know that you were such a great channel for the paint. So that's even another topic, like art share.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Not surprised
I'll
though,
see a
because
color
you've got
and
so much spirit. The life force energy is so strong through you that of course you would just be a wonderful artist too, because we're called to that, to create. That's part of the whole purpose of the game of life, is to participate in the creating side. I love it. What amazing work. Gordy, are you not just like, whoa, have you seen her paintings before? This is new to me.
I've seen some of the stuff in the background of things, but the one with the peacock reminded me of the Buddha on the lotus.
Yeah, Guan Yin.
Yeah.
Kuan Yin, it's 1,000 hand, 1,000 eyes. And if you Google her and peacock, which I did not know, she's shown on a peacock a lot. When I channeled that one, she said, peacock said, I am a servant of Kuan Yin, and gave this whole like explanation. And I was like, huh. And so I was like, I got this feeling to like just Google, because she has so many animals. Kuan Yin can like, you know, become whatever she wants. Sea turtle. She has a sea turtle. She has a white dragon. She has like tons and tons of these animals. And I didn't realize that like she's full on riding a peacock in so many statues and so many. It's a thing. It's like an actual thing.
I have a Guan Yin deck oracle deck that I don't
You
use in
do.
my morning divination. So I need to show that one some love. I'll bring it out to play tomorrow morning. That sounds good. Because you're right. The depictions of that particular deity are just so powerful. It's so powerful. And yeah, it
She has
sounds
a
good.
lot of wisdom too. Yep.
Well, okay. So we've passed the 2 hour mark. I know we're all having fun and probably don't want to leave, but we'll just have you back.
I would love it.
I don't even know what to say. This has been an amazing night. Thank you so much for your time. It's really cool to finally get to hang with you because I've just observed you more than interacted with you, and you've got all of the juice that I want to spread around the world and to the community. So
Well, right back
I
at
need
you.
to, I get why Lindsay has you on all the time.
And thank you,
So
Katherine.
thank you,
Seriously,
Well,
Catherine.
she's so
thank you
wonderful.
very much.
What you
Oh,
do
thank
is
both of
very healing.
you.
There were some comments in the YouTube earlier that I didn't share with on the screen, but I'm gonna scroll up and look for them maybe.
Sure.
Where Ginny B said, Catherine's message for her dog Mango seriously changed her life journey.
I
And
remember
that's
that. Mango
so
is so
wonderful.
special.
And Snake Jones says that her reading for Leo bonded the two of them for life. Your reading for my dog Gimli, I say my dog, I should just say my brother, because that's what I realized is like he sees me as a brother, not a dad. And that really helped me interact with him on the level that he was asking for. So again, big help that we have a different relationship than what I thought as the conventional relationship it would be. It's not master and dog. It's like we're literally soul brothers that just took these roles for this time around and helped me so much to know that. I communicate with them way better.
Well, then you just know how to communicate and get the response, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I love all the love, and I thank you all for sharing your feedback about messages you've received. And I am also honestly just the channel, and I'm not saying that to minimize myself. I'm just saying like I'm just receiving the messages. I'm not creating them.
I know what you mean,
So,
because when I do the morning divination, I get a lot of appreciation for that too, which I love that. It definitely
yeah,
feels good
it's
to be
beautiful.
recognized, but like I'm just telling what the cards say.
Yeah.
Spirit tells it all, like gives me the synchronicity of what I drew. And the great thing about, I think maybe you can agree with this, but since we all have these superpowers and we're all psychic in one way or another, would you agree or expand on the idea that actually the way to tap in as a channel is to realize there's no wrong answer? And just
Yeah.
like, right? Like the fear that I'm going to get it wrong is what blocks the whole communication, right?
I think so, because I think I don't want to get too into it, but I think we're conditioned not to trust that.
Right.
And when we're children, look at a child. A child's a complete channel. I mean, I remember seeing imaginary. They weren't imaginary. They were heaven's animals. They were coming to help me and guide me, and I could see my heaven's team, and I could receive messages in my own way. And yeah, I think the other thing I just want to say, just from my own experience, for people who are like, oh, I don't know if I could ever do that, or not in the same way I do it. We're all going to do it in our special way, or maybe it is similar. Either way, the amount of healing that had to happen for my spiritual, physical, emotional body for this to really be able to come forward is profound. I, in my wildest dreams, wanted to do what I'm doing and didn't see or think that I had any ability to do it. But I was able to take what was challenging me in my life and go deeper and receive the healing on the soul level. And then it just effortlessly popped. Well, effortlessly, you know what I mean?
It's
I had
Wu
to
Wei
do the
though. You mean
work,
it's like it's
but
effortless action though. When it's in flow, you can do
yeah,
all kinds of amazing maneuvers because you've got the wind at your back,
right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
The
for me to
obstacles are
actually
the course.
realize it, it's like, right, I had to
You had to go towards the obstacles instead of run away from them.
well, and then some of the
Yes.
pollution had to clear because I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And then even when everyone around me could see it, I was like, really?
I know what that's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I
Well,
was thinking about the self-sabotaging voices in our head that we do. I do it to myself all the time, but one of those things that I feel like the owls taught me was nobody cares what you look like out here. Like you can, nobody cares what you're, if you look like an idiot out in nature. So try it. So so try looking like an idiot and building up your qigong skills, or try, you know, some weird hand thing that it feels like you look like you're insane, or talk to the trees. Go out and talk to trees like a crazy person. Like we think are crazy people, but that guy might have the answer that you need, you know, the guy that's out there talking to the trees.
Well, it's the message and the judgment that separates us from that source connection of talking to the trees. Because actually, that's totally normal. Little child would do it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They appreciate it too. It's all life force energy. And any being loves to feel the love of recognition. So show recognition to everything alive that you feel drawn to. It's wonderful. It's healing for both you as the observer and for the beloved energy that you are witnessing. It's amazing. So,
And
okay,
then
we'll wrap
because
it
of
up,
that, for
guys.
all. Okay.
Katherine, let us know one more time where they can connect with you, your website, how they can work with you. And Gordy, thanks for hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure to have you rocking the Vibrant with me. Thanks for being
You
the
bet,
brave one
buddy.
that takes the call, buddy. Love you.
Love you, brother.
Good to see you, Gordy.
You too.
Yes,
Thank you,
everybody.
Katherine. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for making this. You know, collectively, we create this together, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Thank you so much, Chance, for inviting me to be a part of this. And I'm very, very happy. And thank you, Lindsay, the connector of all connectors. She is the source of all this connection going on right now.
Catherine's giving Jim a run for his money on like the most infectious laugh too. you got such a good laugh, lady. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I didn't laugh for a long time because I was afraid it was like, you know.
It's
And now
so
I just love
airy.
it. So, yes, you can connect with me anytime at soullightpetservices.org. It's got 2 L's in it. soullightpetservices.org. You can also email me at soullightpetservices@gmail.com or soulartcafe@gmail.com. And you can find me as Soul Light Pet Services on YouTube and on Instagram and Pinterest. All the ways. You can also find me on Facebook. I am still on Facebook. I am guided to do that and go live on there. I go live every Wednesday on my YouTube channel as well, and also every Friday. So join me anytime. I would love to connect with you and share more with you. And
Alan is offering an invitation to do a Weaving Spiders welcome with him and Jim and the rest of the crew. Gordy's in that crew. I would love that. If I can join, I would. We have fun. Saturday nights we go live. Those of us
It's
who
a
are available.
blast. It's a blast. It is so much fun. We were with the false reality check guys last week with Cheney.
Legs and
And
Buffalo.
it was yes, Legs and Buffalo. It was a blast. So yeah, we'd love to have you. It'd be fun.
And everyone out there, thank you for all the contributions in the chats. And if I missed any of the questions or the requests, I did my best. You were hitting me with a lot, and it's sometimes a lot to juggle because there's 3 chats. That's all I'll say. But I know you all forgive me. And we got the messages that were meant to come through. And if you really are feeling called to get messages through the channel, the shiny clear channel that is Katherine, she just let you know how to contact her. And I'm sure you would get even more out of it with that one-on-one and that focus. Because if she can do this with all all the jumble going on right now and all these different vibes coming at her. Imagine if she's like really in the zone on just your communication
For a whole hour. It
for a
is
whole
actually
hour.
really profound. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. You guys are so much fun. Thanks, Katherine. Thanks, Gordy. Thanks, everybody. Much love.
Thank you.
Hey guys, love you.